Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to my webinar. Today I am presenting my senior thesis and why Black representation is so important, not only for me, but also for the next generation to come. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Deja Eccles and I am currently attending the University of North Florida. My major is painting, drawing, and printmaking, but my main focus is printmaking. Although other professors have prompted me to choose between painting or printmaking, I'm really just in between both. I like to utilize the graphicness of printmaking and translate that into my paintings and vice versa. As an artist, I gain a lot of inspiration from various resources. My favorite resource is reading books. I love reading books, and one book in particular is Stamped from the Beginning by Ibram X. Kendi. His book is basically on the history of racist ideas in America, and this book is my holy grail. It defines a lot of information that I am lacking from my classes that I've had in the past, and it provides a way for me to interpret how the viewer will view my work. Other inspiration that I like to draw from are different movements such as Black Lives Matter movement and the focus on police brutality. Not only are books and social media important, but also watching different webinars and TED Talks help as well, such as the one that Titus Kaphar did that really draws on my inspiration for Black representation within art history. Basically shifting your view from the white figure to the Black figure and expanding. So my first encounter with art was at my grandmother's church. There are a lot of beautiful murals, and seeing the deacons and pastors visually represented on the walls really created a sense of awe for art, and it allowed me to basically see myself in art. So looking at that, it created a catalyst for my draw to Black representation and why it's so important to me. This really allowed me to view myself as someone important to document. When I was younger, I was not aware of my Blackness, and being verbally harassed really changed my whole perspective. Because of these experiences, it ties in with my current concentration. A lot of my work incorporates various symbols and imagery that attributes to my knowledge of racism, police brutality, but also my personal fears. Since I only have 7 minutes, and I could talk about this honestly for 5 more hours, I'm only going to sum up 3 important points. First is the Adinkra symbols. There is a lot of history behind the Adinkra symbols. It first originated from the Gaiaman clans of the Brong region, which is present-day Ghana. The Adinkra clothing was actually exclusive to royalty and spiritual leaders. It was only used for important ceremonies such as funerals. Adinkra actually means goodbye. So, with the use of these funerary symbols, it ties in with my next slide. I like to use a lot of palm leaves within my work because it is a symbol of martyrdom, and I believe that a lot of Black bodies have been martyred due to police brutality and ignorance. So it is very important and conveys that strong message that I want the viewer to see. A lot of my artwork incorporates my family members. I believe that it's important and essential to my work because it allows me to be vulnerable and also showcase the humanity of Black figures. A lot of Black figures are being shot or being victimized by police brutality, and it's important to highlight this and to create this sense of closeness between the viewer and my work, because it allows the viewer to relate to the figure even if they don't know that person, because it still confronts them with the fact that this could be anyone. This could be anyone that they know, whether it's their brother, their sister, their cousin, their coworker, their classmate. It could be anyone. And so you're no longer just the innocent bystander. This is now tied to you as well. Here is a clip of my process and how I worked on a 4-foot by 8-foot wood block for this event called Blocktober. It's held annually at FSCJ. This was a major project for me because I've been looking forward to working with Shayla for a whole year and getting the chance to work on a giant wood block. I spent possibly 100 hours working on my block. This really became the stepping stone for what I am doing now in my current work. Here is a clip of my process and how I worked on a 4-foot by 8-foot wood block. I had the privilege of showcasing my work alongside other students at MOCA for a couple of weeks. It was so amazing to see the public react to my work and get the chance to talk to some of the viewers and really get an understanding of how they were interpreting my work. Here are some previous works that I've done that showcase the symbols I was starting to experiment, as I've mentioned before, with the palm leaves and depictions of martyrdom of Black bodies, and showcasing the humanity, and in this case, using my brother as the model, as well as my cousins and my niece. I began to couple these images with words to further emphasize the humanity of the Black community and how this is no longer just a Black issue, but it's everyone's issue. This self-portrait is a part of the current work that I'm working on now, where I am starting to investigate in the use of the upside-down flag and how it serves as a symbol of distress. I think that's very important for the time that we're in now. So I've been trying to find different ways of depicting that, and it's currently in my 2 blocks that I'll be displaying later on in the fall semester. Thank you for listening to my presentation.